Hello, this is checkpoint 2.14 from section 2.3. We want to take the limit as x approaches 5 of the square root of x minus 1 and then minus 2, all in the numerator divided by x minus 5. So if we're interested in doing this, the first thing we probably want to do is put a 5 in and see what happens. So when we put a 5 in, we're going to get the square root of 4, which is going to be 2 minus 2. That's going to give us a 0 in the numerator. And we'll put 5 in the denominator. We're also going to get 0. So this is indeterminate. And for indeterminate forms, we generally would see if we can do some algebra to get it out of this form, and to see if we can actually find a limit. And so for that, let's rewrite this whole thing over. This is going to be limit as x approaches 5 of the square root of x minus 1 minus 2 divided by x minus 5. And the algebra that we'll do is if we had a polynomial divided by a polynomial, we'll probably factor and see if things cancel. But in this case, we have a square root plus a constant. So I think what we're interested in doing is multiplying by the conjugate. So the conjugate of this value is going to be the same expressions, except that instead of a minus that we have here, we're going to put a plus. And so whatever we do on top, we'll also have to do in the bottom, so that we're essentially multiplying by 1 and not changing this expression. Now the advantage of multiplying by the conjugate is that when you multiply it out, you FOIL it out, you're going to get the difference of two squares. So the square of the square root and the square of 2. So let's go ahead and do that multiplication out. So this is going to be x minus 1, the square root of x minus 1 squared, which is just going to be x minus 1, minus, and then 2 squared, which is going to be 4. Meanwhile, the denominator is not going to change. Well, it'll get multiplied, but then you can't simplify it much. Alright, so that's our initial step, and what we want to do is we want to simplify to see if we can work things out. So if we take a look at the numerator and simplify that, we're going to get x minus 1 minus 4, so that's x minus 5, and you can see it coming. And one of the whole points in doing this is that we're going to be able to see things cancel out. So we see now that the x minus 5 is a common term, common factor in the numerator and the denominator. And so now we have left the limit as x approaches 5 of 1 divided by x minus 1 plus 2. So there's no way that this is going to be indeterminate anymore. And we can put in the value of 5. So we're going to get 1 in the numerator. This is going to be the square root of 4, which is 2 plus 2. So this is going to be the square root of 1 over 2 plus 2 is 4, 1/4. And that should be your final answer. All right, I hope that helps.